This is Margaret in Windsor, and I wanted to edit. I don't know how to edit. I'm on a phone, Android phone. I can't edit. Go back into my videos and edit them. I wanted to edit and say that in the last two videos I uploaded, it was about the mind control murders. I made the mistake in there of saying that Morgan Harrington was a student at University of Virginia in Charlottesville. That's where she was probably abducted. She was at a Metallica concert there. She actually went to college at Virginia Tech, nearby Blacksburg here. And um, that's where Heidi Childs and her friend Metzler were killed in the national forest. They were a rifle used on them, and Heidi is the daughter of Virginia retired state trooper now, Childs. Okay, some of that I understand more now. Anyway, there's nothing said about this. Nobody's been charged. They go to, I'm so afraid this is going to be covered up, is the thing. There was something else I wanted to say. Let me clarify what Hannah Elizabeth Graham was born in. She's a citizen of London, England. I think they 12 years ago moved to Alexandria, Virginia, and she was a student here at University of Virginia. Now then, they've linked her abduction and possible murder to Morgan Harrington. And I've always told about the mind control murders, and I've put this on the other tapes, and I simply wanted to clarify that Morgan was really a student at Virginia Tech, not she was abducted over at University of Virginia. There's a long list of these murders, and I've said that. It's not gender-oriented. It's involved in the names, the time, the synchronicity, etc. So forensic is not what these murders are based on. Mind control is invisible. It's the agency doing it. And if anybody, back when I wrote about mind control, I couldn't Google. I got mine from sheer hard work and hell, there's no other word for it, and tried to publish it. And I've told it since then with all that's been done to me. I've told about my own kidnapping and my sons. I don't know where they are, the repercussions to me, and I didn't kidnap myself and bring myself to this country. It was it was okay with most people. And what they wanted to do was just shut it up and cover it up. I found out about my kidnapping in '83 and who my loving parents were. King Edward VIII, married to my mom, Claudia O'Keefe of Madison, Wisconsin, sister to Georgia, the artist, because my mother's just been deleted from history almost, and look at what they did to my father, and how about me? I was born in '39 and brought to Lawrence County, Alabama, Moulton, and my own uncle was a part of my kidnapping, George the Sixth, the illegal lineage, and so is Elizabeth, of course. I'm Victoria the Second, and they put a seal on my father's illegal takedown and my birth. Roosevelt was president, and he appointed Joseph Kennedy as ambassador to England. So Kennedy helped in his sons, JFK, and the older one, Joe Kennedy. They were regular at the embassy there, flying in and out. And the only thing that I'm pretty sure of in how they got me here was there was an air base, Cortland Air Base near Moulton, and it was built during the war, and it was completed, I believe, by 1941. Pretty sure of it, yeah. But anyway, that's probably where they flew me in. I do remember the two men. I don't remember their faces, but I remember how they were suited, and they were thin. not tall, but kind of lanky, and more thin. Uh, and it's horrible. If it's ever told, is the only time anybody will be shamefaced. Let me say that. It's a horrible thing that they've done ongoing to me and my children. My mom and dad, nobody says anything about your poor mom and dad. And my mom was 40 when I was born, and my dad was 45. A beautiful parents and a wonderful father. That's the reason they disposed of him. His own brother helped do it. And history has been changed, and nobody seems to care to correct it. So I guess I've gotten up. I did want to add this one more thing, though, to Hustler magazine. I keep saying that because Larry Flint was shot in Lawrenceville. The person was programmed to shoot him, and he helped me in a political campaign and did an article in Hustler, in a nice one, I felt, April of '84. Now, I wanted to get back to Keith Humphrey, who covered the Haysom murders, and they were students at, I met him, or our paths crossed, just before I was flown to Flint's in '83, October. And this would have been in September, and I was in that campaign to replace the doctor, Congressman Larry McDonald, whose plane was shot down. Keith Humphrey covered that story here in Roanoke. And I was in Grottoes when it happened, and I was pumping gas at Ronica's just to make a living and live in a trailer to get it furnished. And with a Hustler car furnished for a year by Mr. Flint was sitting in the backyard there. And these murders happened then April of '85. Yeah. Now I end up in Roanoke. And by the way, I want to mention this because there are connections. I'm drawing a blank. Czar Nicholas, I don't go from prepared speech. Anastasia is a cousin of mine. And this really was Anastasia, so because of all the money and who did it, and go back to the Americans, the President Woody, oh, now I am drawing a blank, Woodrow Wilson, yeah. It goes to the Freemasons and the Illuminati, the Jews, the Rothschilds, Rockefellers that own the media that helped kidnap me, the Kennedys and my own uncle. So aren't they a great group? And they are in control, the global control now. So good luck, right? It's not for lack of me telling and crawling and the repercussions done to me and telling about my own kidnapping. But anyway, Keith Humphrey kept covering this. He's with the local channel here. Jens was a diplomat's son, German diplomat's son. Elizabeth, Canadian citizen. It's her mother and father, Derek and Nancy Haysom, that had their heads decapitated almost. And they were charged with it. And this was totally done in patterns. And Keith was a well-known anchor here. And all the channels here, and God knows the mainstream media knew about my kidnapping probably from the day I was kidnapped. They certainly knew it before me. And then this added thing about me writing about mind control, murders, and finding out about my own kidnapping. And they will not tell a word of it, except they have told lies here about me. The media, Roanoke Times, it was owned by a local family then, and I believe it's Warren Buffett, Canadian, that owns it now, that bought it out. But the point I wanted to make before this goes off again, I wanted to correct the errors I made. And Alexis Murphy, of course, is not a student at the University of Virginia. She was due to finish high school, I believe, when she was abducted, and they haven't found her body yet either. And it's one of the mind controls. So I wanted to talk about Keith Humphrey and the media's role in the cover-up in all this. And the more they covered up, the more they did not want it told. Keith